target.
Hello War Thunder, and welcome aboard one of the quintessential fighters of the Second World War, the Yakovlev Yak-9U. This plane is, in my opinion, the most powerful Yak for its battle rating. It really is the essence of the Yak formula. Impressive speed and climb rate, excellent agility in all axes of motion, and overall one of the smoothest flying experiences of any prop fighter. It's almost fast enough to keep up with American Mustangs, and almost agile enough to dance with Japanese Zeros, meaning you always have a card up your sleeve, no matter what your opponent is flying. This game is an excellent demonstration. Like most Soviet fighters, the Yak-9U has extremely good performance at low altitude, both in acceleration and energy retention. This P-51 is about to find this out the hard way. From what happened during that fight, you probably have noticed some of the weaknesses of the Yak-9U, namely its flaps and its guns. The Yak-9 suffers from Spitfire syndrome, in that it only has landing flaps, so trying to use them at anything over 300 km per hour often results in them saying goodbye to the airframe in a violent fashion. While the guns do very good damage, their ammunition load is very light, which means you have to either be very conservative with your shooting or be prepared to head back to base. A lot. Another thing I've noticed about this plane is that its engine and cooling systems seem to be made of some sort of paper mache. Whenever I get shot in this plane, like at all, the first thing to go is always the cooling system. Just look at that oil temperature. My engine's turned into a ticking time bomb, and the runway is painfully far away. Thankfully for you folks watching, I can save you the boredom and potential stress. Now, at this point in the match, the only enemies remaining are a single P-51 D-30 and two B-17 Flying Fortresses. Unfortunately for me, I only have two teammates left up in the air as well. Thankfully, they are of BF-109 and a Yakovlev 190, so I'm liking my chances for now. With the 109 currently tangled up with the Mustang though, that leaves me to the one task that this plane does most poorly at: bomber hunting. See, the Yak-9U's primary armament is actually its 50 caliber machine guns. The 20mm, despite having a much higher caliber, is extremely unreliable and often sparks without doing any real damage to the target. The 50 cals, on the other hand, are insane. They're practically flamethrowers, and sometimes they can set the enemy on fire in even a single hit. Unfortunately, when you're going up against something like a B-17, having two 50 cals really doesn't cut it, unless you can get super lucky and manage a pilot snipe. Wow, would you look at that? He hit my engine. Bad news for me, the Mustang spotted me, and he's gonna decide to brave the airfield AAA to strafe me off the runway. Thankfully, tricks from the jet age still prove useful in the prop era. With my teammates hot on the heels of the P-51, I decide to pop an order to find that last B-17. Luckily for me, it looks like it landed to rearm at some point, which means it hasn't had the chance to quite climb back up to space. Time for round 2. As we wait for the interception, I do want to mention something. I don't see Yak-9Us in the air very often, and I think maybe it's due to the eye-watering $23,000 Silver Lion repair bill on a fully upgraded plane. What you might have missed, however, is that this plane has a Silver Lion modifier of 3.8. That's higher than a lot of premium planes of the same battle rating. With this thing's amazing performance, that means you could easily still turn a profit, even if you get shot down every once in a while. Just something to keep in mind.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
But before you say anything, I know, I should have shot the engines. I was just really hoping for a pilot snipe. This time around, the gunners thankfully didn't manage to scratch me, which is good news, because that Mustang just showed up again. From the way he's bleeding oil, I'd say the airfield guns did a number to his engine too, but even so, it seems my teammates weren't able to catch up to him. Luckily for me, I happened to be in exactly the right position to intercept him before he can get to his frontline airfield. And you know me, I never say no to another chance at a dogfight. Unfortunately, I did jam my 20mm trying to shoot down that B-17, so this one's going to be a little tight. What a game indeed. 8 kills is the most I've ever managed in an Air RB game, and that's a testament to the Yak-9U's capabilities. Don't let this workhorse collect dust in your hangar. Take her out. Thanks for watching.